TUV-SUD, NQA, DQS, BSI, 4 registrars, 1 industrial betrayal at Boeing El Segundo. Attention, Howard McKenzie, VP Space Mission Systems, Ted Zenzinger, Senior Vice President BDS, to suppliers, subcontractors, investors, logistics leaders, and the public. The El Segundo Boeing facility stands as a monument to a 23-year accreditation lie. My name is Daryl Guberman. I'm the CEO of Guberman PMC LLC. I've talked in videos about how on April 17th, I went down to support Sam Salapar at the DHS subcommittee. Sam Salapar was talking about the design issues with the Boeing 777, Boeing 787 aircraft. He talked about that. Most recently, we saw that the Boeing 777 is put out another year to 2027 for delivery dates. I was holding up 2 documents, one from April 2002, which was for special processes, heat treat, welding, non-destructive testing, run by the Performance Review Institute. Basically, send in your certificate, send in your parts, and we're good to go. That was Boeing's mantra. The one in July speaks about being AS9100 as a supplier for Boeing, and you must be ANAB accredited, American National Crediting Board accredited. Basically, what they said in these 2 documents, send in your cert, send in your parts, and we don't have to come see you, only if need be or need arises. That's very problematic. This goes to you, Howard, and you, Ted, especially, since you are ruling the roost out there. Boeing forced the entire global supplier base into AS9100 through the American National Crediting Board accreditation, tightening the noose after 9/11 while never obtaining the certification themselves. They held the keys to the kingdom for OASIS, the Online Aerospace Systems Information System, which was designed and developed by ANAB, it looks like ANSI-ANAB, and it came out in Heads Up 22, which mandated all suppliers must be on the OASIS database, the Online Aerospace Systems Information System, which was owned entirely by the International Aerospace Quality Group, at that time, 65% leadership, or should I say constriction. Boeing took over, for IAQG. You could not refuse to be put on the database or pay database fees, or you would get your certificate taken away. Now we continue on. Boeing shaped the accreditation landscape with the American National Standards Institute and the American National Crediting Board machine. Then, unbelievably, and I'm going to show you this, unbelievably, in 2014 to 2024, Boeing, still uncertified, inserted itself into the Management System Accreditation Committee, the place where certifications are granted, suspended, and withdrawn. They did this while building airplanes without the certification they forced upon every manufacturer. 7 registrars sit on ANSI-ANAB's board. They are DQS, NQA, TUV Rhineland, TUV-SUD, NSF, BSI, and Intertech. 7 registrars sit on the board, claiming independence under ISO IEC 1711, which is for registrars and accreditation bodies. But the illusion collapses when you see who was certifying that. At El Segundo, where you guys are, Howard and Ted, the certificate was issued by the NQA, one of ANAB board registrars. So NQA sat with Boeing on the same governing body, ANSI-ANAB, while Boeing remained uncertified yet influential on the Management System Accreditation Committee, where they can grant, suspend, and withdraw certification for 10 years, between 2014 and 2024. You cannot be impartial when you are co-writing the rules with the company you audit. This is not a conflict of interest. This is a certification cartel. And in June 27, 2024, Miss Elizabeth Lund said in a Reuters interview, and Miss Elizabeth Lund was the Vice President of Quality for the Boeing Company, she admitted Boeing had been performing internal audits for decades, functioning as if they were AS9100 certified. She said her exact words was, Boeing was willing and prepared to get the certification. Well, guess what? That was in June. October, I took a plane, Airbus, and I flew out to Washington State, and I spent almost a month out there. Howard and Ted, I just want to let you know that. And we looked around. We went around to Everett, Renton, Auburn, and Northfield, and we discovered that no one knew about AS9100. No one knew about internal auditing. In fact, some of the employees came up to me and said, my management doesn't let me go to any of these training sessions for anything. And they didn't hear about AS9100 or auditing, like for safety. They wouldn't let their employee go because the employee said to me they wouldn't be able to deliver the plane to the next station. But as if, when she said this, functioning as if they were AS9100 certified, but as if does not satisfy ISO 17021 for the requirements. As if does not produce compliance. As if does not save lives. I am the only one, Howard and Ted, that has the proof of the largest worldwide industrial and fiduciary fraud and scam. I am the only one that's been beating the drum that can fix this mess. El Segundo's certificate, signed off by NQA, is invalid in spirit, compromised by proximity, and permanently shadowed by Boeing's direct influence over accreditation policy, sitting on the Management System Accreditation Committee of ANAB for over 10 years, being uncertified themselves. It is what you would consider fraudulent. Suppliers trapped in Boeing's dictated system, investors who assumed certification meant safety, logistics networks relying on compliance, passengers trusting in airworthiness, all were misled. This is not an administrative oversight. My telephone number is 203-556-1493, and I thank you.